basically, I don't want to sound too much like one of the presidential candidates, but I'm for a debt-free 4-year college education.
Students graduating with very high levels of debt, they spend their money on paying down that debt. They don't buy cars, they don't buy houses, they delay starting families, they delay starting businesses. It's a problem for all of us in terms of our economic well-being, but it's also a personal hardship on students.
Damn the Debt was a really nice surprise. I think I can speak for our whole senior class when I say that. $2,600 for a graduating senior, and that's no small amount to be alleviated when we're coming out of college, having accrued all this debt. My parents have been sacrificing throughout my 4 years of college, trying to help me graduate with as little debt as possible. I don't have the financial means to repay them, but I try to repay them through my academic performance and maximizing my college experience.
Paying for my tuition has always been kind of a challenge and a burden, not just on me, but my family.
They've gone into their family, they've gone to their extended family, they've worked, they've applied for scholarships, received scholarships, and they're still going to end up with tens of thousands of dollars of debt. Right now, as the President pointed out, student debt is the second largest amount of debt in our country. It's exceeded credit card debt. In the next decade, it's expected to go from $1.3 trillion to $2 trillion of outstanding debt. We need to take a look at how we can allow for debt-free college education.
70% of our students work more than 20 hours a week, so that's usually full-time. And we keep saying to them, you know, this is how many hours you have to spend in class, and this is how many hours you have to spend on homework. Well, it doesn't matter if you need food and shelter.
About 60% of my students are Pell eligible, and about 90% depend on some sort of financial aid. And so giving them an opportunity to take courses in the summer will not only assist them financially, but will also assist them in getting through the university faster and getting on to gainful employment.
The Pell Grant in the late 70s covered 99% of a cost of education in a Maryland community college. At a 4-year institution, it was 4-year public in Maryland, 77%, and at a private institution was 36%. Today, it's 52% at a 2-year school, 31% at a public 4, and 14% at a private institution.
When we look at the big picture, I mean, students really need to understand that bachelor's degrees are essentially the new high school diploma. You really need a bachelor's degree to enter the workforce. So you should be saving money for graduate school, because that is what is going to give you a leg up when you go into the workforce.
And I want to reiterate what Dr. Hoy and Dr. Bell said. You know, it's all about the funding that has gone down. At Salisbury, in the University System of Maryland, we have one of the highest per student debt graduation rates in the system. We also have the lowest funding. Those are directly attributable to each other.
It's in all of our interests to make sure that families can afford a college education, and too many families won't do it under the current circumstances.
As we talk about access and affordability, we do need to look at college readiness, whether that's dual enrollment or bridge programs, whatever that may be. And we also need to continue investing in different programs. So some students might benefit from service, some might benefit from Georgia's Brigade, but I just want to make sure that we're all committed to being flexible and having many options, because I think that will be the key. If we really want to improve access, we have to have something for everybody.
Would you give me $1 if I gave you 10? I mean, that's good debt. And I think that's kind of to your point, Barbara, is that I think what we're seeing now is that families are being much smarter about the debt that they're taking, and they're getting a lot more for it.
What we're going to try to do is put this in policy. There's really a lot of interest, and the good news is that there's a bipartisan path forward. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.